with it coming to light that the U.S. government, particularly the Department of Homeland Security, plans on cracking down on, quote, fake news, I wanted to talk about why laws regulating speech are very dangerous, particularly in the United States. Certain liberties, such as those expressed in the United States Constitution, are unique mostly to the Anglosphere, and unique especially to the United States. And a lot of people have copied them because of the way they promote liberty and prosperity. Now, what I want to point out is this. The problem with laws regulating speech, such as hate speech, or in this case, fake news, is who determines what is fake news and who determines what is hate speech. It's a very subjective term. And the reason this is a problem is in Europe, including England, which is one of the reasons the United States, broke away from England, there are laws regulating speech related to things such as homosexuality, relating to such things as global warming, and relating to such things as the Holocaust. Now, many scientific journals are very iffy when it comes to global warming. There's evidence that they do not like when other scientists contest the findings of climatologists. Okay, but when you get rid of the ability to question and call it fake news, or you get rid of for example, homosexuality is, this so-called homosexuality science is complete bogus, or completely bogus. There's one of the former heads of the Psychological Association, the guy responsible for making homosexuality no longer a mental illness, but a personological trait. He even stated that this is all nonsense. Homosexuality was made a mental illness for political reasons, and it was made not a mental illness for political reasons. But when you start getting away from the ability to question things, science goes out the window, and we start exploring things such as the USSR did with Lysenkoism, which was like a Soviet creationism. And when you start getting rid of the ability to speak freely and to question freely, you start to enter a realm where the narrative is being basically written for the people by an elite, and it's you're no longer seeing a society that coincides with reality, and you will see a society that will implode when people cannot speak freely and express themselves freely, and this is the problem. I mean, let's talk about fake news. Like, for example, I listen to Rush Limbaugh. I wouldn't call myself a Rush Limbaugh fan, but I like listening to Rush Limbaugh. Rush Limbaugh has a national radio show that is an opinion show. Well, is his opinion fake news? I mean, who would determine what is and is not fake news? Bill Maher, who is an ardent Zionist that doesn't, and in my opinion, has anti-American views. Is his view fake news? What about, I don't know. What about, I'm trying to think off the top of my head, Ann Coulter. Is she fake news? Who's going to determine this? Is there going to be a special panel to determine what is and is not fake news? And is opinion fake news? This is the problem we have with hate speech. I majored in criminal justice. The biggest problem with hate speech is this. How can you punish somebody for hatred? Okay, it's legal to hate people. You should be allowed to have that opinion. You should not be allowed to harm people, but you should be allowed to hate anybody you want. Black, white, gay, straight, whatever. You should be allowed to hate. That's a freedom of expression. When it becomes not a freedom is when you're hurting somebody. But is the hate the crime? No, the commission of the crime is the crime. So to tack on extra penalties for this perceived extra crime because it had to do with hate is bogus. And this is why anything regulating speech or expression is dangerous. It's a very dangerous precedent you cross, particularly in the USA.